I'm Joey,
I'm Jason.
and this is Metal
Monster
Review. Welcome back to Metal and Monster Reviews. Today we're going to go back to the 80s, and I know what you're thinking, what the hell else is new? But hey, this is a good one to do, and this one is very long overdue. We're going back to 1980, and we are going to talk about Friday the 13th. This is an awesome slasher movie. And the whole Friday the 13th series, it's just a huge horror franchise. And I'll tell you a little something about Friday the 13th, and just even getting ready for this review and rewatching it. It was kind of sentimental to me because I remember the first time that I watched it, as we've mentioned this on this show before, time and time again. The Friday the 13th, Dusk to Dawn, Friday the 13th Marathon on Monster Vision, hosted by Joe Bob Briggs. And how many times have we referenced Monster Vision on this show?
Yes, a lot of memories with that.
Oh, absolutely. And I sat and watched Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th Part 2, Part 3, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? That night in one sitting. And it was really sentimental to me because rewatching this, and it's like, yeah, because that reminded me of that. So now what we got going on here with the plot is simply this. You have a summer camp. It is called Camp Crystal Lake, but is known by the locals as Camp Blood.
Sounds cheerful.
It is, upbeat and cheery. So Camp Blood here has had a boy drowned in 1957, 2 counselors murdered in 1958, and in the early 60s they were going to reopen and the water was bad, and then there was a lot of fires. Well, it sounds like there's some type of sabotage going on here. Well, many years later now, the owner of the camp is going to reopen it, and all sorts of chaos ensues. Jason, would you like to talk a little bit about Friday the 13th?
Yeah, Friday the 13th, to me, what's really iconic about it is the musical score.
Yes, Harry Manfredini.
It's another one of these movies where you don't even have to see them and someone says it and you start humming the theme to it. Like, yeah, I know that theme.
And how's it go? Who the hell thought that would work? But it's awesome. You know what I mean?
And it just every time there's something bad about to happen, the music is real intense and fast.
Exactly.
So to me, that's like besides the kills, the music score is really awesome to me.
And it is an awesome music score for sure. But you mentioned the kills here in this too. Now here we go. It's an 80s slasher movie. It's got a body count. One thing I noticed about the kills in this movie is like each kill tops the last.
Yeah.
You know, and normally we give a lot of spoilers in this show, but for this review, we're going to try to keep it to a minimal. If you've never seen this, I don't want to ruin this, but I do have to talk about a few certain scenes here. As we just got done talking about earlier, you have a young Kevin Bacon in this movie.
Yeah.
One of his first few roles. I don't know if it was not exactly his first, because I remember he was in Diner and Animal House, and I don't know the time frame of all of them off the top of my head, but this was an early role for him. And one thing that I mentioned and I liked was his death scene in the movie.
Yeah.
With the arrow coming up through the throat.
Another thing you can't go wrong with 80s horror is practical effects.
As we've talked so many times, and we have Tom Savini did the practical effects here, and there's a lot of cool practical effects. And you mentioned about the girl, Annie, who ends up getting her throat slit in the woods there. And when you mentioned when the knife comes across the throat and you can just see the skin open up here, and it's just like, wow, you know what I mean? For a practical effect, it looks terrific.
It's one of the best throat cuts I've ever seen. You get some movies where they'll do it's just like they're drawing a red line. Not this, man.
No.
You see the skin, like you said, open up. When she tilts her head back, you can see it stretching open.
No, it was a well-done effect, and it was actually a creepy movie, too. And you have these people being killed off, but you have no idea who it is, what the motive is, you know?
It's just amazing watching this one to see how the franchise goes from here. It was awesome to go back to the beginning like this. It's been a while since I sat down and watched the first one.
And I'm going to level with you. Usually when I watch a Friday the 13th movie, I'm watching one of the later sequels. It's not that I dislike the first one. I think it's great, but...
I'm the same way. My go-to, I always seem to go to part 6, Jason Lives.
I like part 2 and 4 myself, but you can't go wrong with any of them. I mean, I do find them all entertaining. You know what I mean? But I mean, the first one here is a little underappreciated. You know what I mean? It gets overlooked a lot. And it's like I said, it's got a real creepy atmosphere. You're out there in that summer camp and somebody's stalking you. You got the creepy music going on, and each death just topped the last.
And some of the deaths are a little creepy too, like the axe scene. Just to see the shadow of the axe slowly
the silhouette, the shadow of the axe just come down and just hit her right in the face. And yeah, that was a creepy scene. And you had the creepy music going on behind it too. You know what I mean? So
then you got a little bit of comedy relief, like when there was a snake in the cabin. They're acting like a bunch of goddamn 3-year-olds.
Well, call them. How do you call a snake? Well, is that a legit thing? I mean, I hope that was just written for a joke, and that there isn't somebody out there in the world saying, well, I called the snake, but he wouldn't come over to me. What the fuck's his problem? You know what I mean?
Just seeing all of them pout up at each other, trying to look for this snake.
It was goofy and lighthearted, you know what I mean? Because, hey, and then anytime you have a little soothsayer here, you have the crazy old guy warning you. And we're going to mention this here a little bit too. I don't want to forget old crazy Ralph, running around warning everybody, you're doomed. You're all doomed. This place has a death curse. Anytime you have a crazy old guy like that warning you, you might as well check yourself into the community center for the totally fucked, because that's where you're going. It's like, well, it's nice knowing you.
No one wanted to listen to him.
No, nobody listened to him. And he was right. I mean, he was hiding in the pantry, you know what I mean? Just, standing next to the can of beans here, you know what I mean? Somebody's going to get hungry sooner or later, But yeah, when you got the crazy old guy warning you, it's serious. Now, is there anything else you'd like to talk about with Friday the 13th?
No, it's definitely one of the top slasher movies. And I said we don't want to talk too much about it because...
No, I don't want to spoil it, especially the ending. I definitely don't want to spoil that for if you've never seen this. Because like I said, on this show, we have a tendency to spoil. I'm going to try and keep it at a minimum here today if I can.
Yeah, if you like practical effect kills, you're going to have fun with this one.
Oh, absolutely. I'd highly recommend Friday the 13th. Would you?
Yes, I would.
Fair enough. So in the meantime, be sure to watch Friday the 13th and be sure to subscribe to Metal and Monster Reviews. I'm Joey.
I'm Jason.
And this is Metal
Monster
Review.